In this short video, I will explain when to use webinars and when to use VSLs. First of all, let's start with the time that they spend with you. For the webinar, it's 1 to 3 hours, so they are there for 1 to 3 hours, they watch you, they learn from you. And in the VSL, it's 7 to 40 minutes, more around the 20-minute mark. And now comes the real difference. So in webinar, you can sell 900 to 2000 around price tags, programs, coaching solutions, anything that costs around 900 to 2000. While with the VSL you can sell 3k to 40,000, and you will understand later why that is. Now the webinar goes on one day, so you just collect all the email addresses and you opt in for one webinar. Like every Friday, let's say there is a webinar, so every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Wednesday they just run ads to the opt-in page. Hey, at Friday come to our webinar, and on Friday you have the one webinar for the week, and that means that people will probably sign up on the Friday on the webinar. So the sales doesn't come in 24/7. It's more about like, hey, let's just collect, hype this event up, and then do the webinar on Friday. And then after Friday is done, just do that again. Let's hype it up and get people to sign up and do that again. And of course you have the email address, so now you can do a lot of other stuff with it, but that is the structure of it. For the VSL, it's 24/7. Anybody at any time, they can just sign up for the VSL, they can just go and watch your VSL. And now comes the real difference. For webinar, you don't need the sales team, and for VSL, you need the sales team. This means that on the webinar, they are with you to 1 to 3 hours. So after watching you a lot, they just trust you. So if they spend 2 hours with you, they learn about you, they learn about what you do, they can make their mind up if they want to buy this 1k to 2k around project or program. And this means that you don't need a sales team. Of course you can use a sales team, but you don't need a sales team because on the webinar you can do the selling. It feels like they trust you now, they get value from you from the webinar, so you don't need a sales team. But this is exactly the reason why you can't really sell anything higher than that. But if you look at VSLs, you can sell a lot higher tickets because you have to have a sales team, because 20 minutes is not enough to make them believe that, hey, this is what you need and this is what you will get. So you need to send these people to a sales call where they get sold, because on the webinar you can sell them in 3 hours, but in 20 minutes you can't do that. You can't build the trust, you can't build the authority. So you may ask, why not do 3-hour webinar and just sell higher ticket stuff? Because higher ticket is much more risky to do on webinars, because people who buy higher ticket, they just want to have a call with you. I don't want to spend 20k on a program and don't have a call with somebody, don't have a talk with somebody. And on the webinar you can really use like great impulsive purchases. Of course 2k is not an impulsive purchase, but it hits that part of the brain, like, oh, this is a nice opportunity, let's do this. I know it's 2k, I know it's a lot, but let's do this. And if you do a webinar right, a lot of people would sign up. But the VSL is just too short to build out the trust, and without the trust they won't buy you, even if it's 1k, even if it's 20k. Of course all this can change if you have a lot of YouTube videos and you build out the trust and you have a good YouTube audience. Then doing a VSL, they already have the trust with you, so they might just want the information and just let's go. So they might not need the sales call, but I would still advise to do this. But for cold audience, or like you advertising and you get people to sign up and you get people to the VSL, this is what I would look at. Of course another factor, like 40k, people who buy 40k packages, they don't have a lot of time. They just want to know in 7 minutes or 10 minutes, hey, this is what I have to offer, this is what I can give you, this is my proof that I can give you it, and this is how it would happen. And they can now decide, hey, do I want this or do I not want this? They don't want to waste 3 hours on a webinar and then at the end realize that they don't need this. So this is the base difference between a VSL and webinar. Again, things can change, but if you follow these guidelines, you will make better choices in terms of like, okay, this is what we will use and this is why we will use this.